In this video, we're going to be talking to one of my awesome community members who went from making no money in voiceover, only 2 bookings in 7 years, all the way to clearing $6,500 last month. And he's going to tell you exactly how he did it. So stay tuned and buckle up. But this is the intro to the intro because we recorded our meeting over Zoom and the quality is 2 thumbs downs. It's terrible. The information's still good. Hope you can forgive me on this one. Zoom was the only way we could connect. Kevin's going to tell you how he did it. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And if you can get past the quality, hit like, subscribe so you'll know when more videos like this one are posted. Sorry about the Zoom. Or I said it like a Canadian. Sorry. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have an awesome interview for you today with one of my amazing community members, Mr. Kevin Schmidt, everybody. And Kevin was recently nominated for Best Newcomer at the One Voice Awards. But not just that. What else were you nominated for?
Voice of God.
Voice of God, ladies and gentlemen. Does that not sound like the voice of God right there? Kevin, listen, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. Welcome to the channel. Tell us about how long you've been doing voiceover, what got you into it, and then we'll talk about the awards and all that stuff later. But how did this all start? Like, tell us about the origin. How did you get into it?
Probably about 7 years ago. I did a voiceover job for a Mortal Kombat game, and we ended up getting a cease and desist, so we didn't actually get to finish it.
So it was like not actual Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, we had Dan Boone, Matt Boone, the guy who created Mortal Kombat. He was on board with us and everything, but then we got a cease and desist from whoever licenses Mortal Kombat currently, like NetherRealm Studios, I think it is. I was the voice of Shang Tsung, the Scorpion wins, that guy.
Yeah.
Pretty good part, but
so that was 7 years ago though. What
it was like 7 years ago,
because I just met you like at the end of last year.
After that, I had like a couple of people do me ask me to do like an intro or an outro for their podcast, something like that. And I did it for free just because I think I was just kind of more flattered that somebody actually liked my voice. One of them was Ring Rust Radio, which is, at least at the time, it was like a fairly well-known wrestling related podcast. I don't know if they still exist or not, but a little bit of a funny story about that is, in the intro, I pissed off somebody who does commentary for one of the major wrestling programs, and he tweeted about it or something. So I had my first wrestling feud based off of voiceover. But
oh, no way. Funny. And at what point was this? Like, was this right after the Mortal Kombat, or was this like more recently? Like, where are we at in your timeline now?
No, it was like a couple years after Mortal Kombat, and we pissed off Taz. If there's any wrestling fans, they'll know who Taz is. But
I know who Taz is.
Okay. And then I just kind of shelved it for a while, and I did my regular job, which is work from home also. But it's just sucks the life out of me. It's very just not fulfilling. Just the same thing over and over. This is a job I went to college for too, but that's neither here nor there. And then in early 2024, I started an account on Fiverr for voiceover because it was always kind of like in the back of my mind, like, hey, I did that Mortal Kombat thing. People liked it. I wonder if maybe I could do that for extra money or whatever. Fiverr, there was just so many, just page after page after page of male voiceover artists on there.
So like, how did it go? It didn't work out, or?
No. I don't know if I even got seen by anybody or heard by anybody. It was just, there's so many people on there, and maybe it's different now. I don't know.
The way I see it is that, like, honestly, like, I think sometimes Fiverr can be like an okay viable means for some extra income where you're not having to audition for jobs. But, and I say this is a big caveat, but I think it's most effective if you can get work first, like through pay-to-play platforms and agencies, and then apply for Fiverr Pro so you get maximum visibility, because your problem was that you weren't even visible. You fall into a needle in a haystack of just a slew of, part-time VOs with like snowball mics and all that. And you might be the best one on the platform, but they can't find you. So you need visibility. And I think Fiverr Pro is the way to go. But even still, then it's not the best way to attack voiceover. There's way better ways to go. So that didn't work out, but you didn't call it quits then. What did you do after? Did you just like, I'm going to make this work? Like,
I spent a lot of time setting up my gig on there. I made a video and all kinds of stuff. And like I said, nothing happened. That was like January, February of 2024. Summer came around and I was just I was still kind of like, it was just like still in the back of my mind. I think I can do this. And I found somebody on YouTube. I don't remember the guy's name. I signed up for his free webinar, and it was like an hour and a half of him telling me to spend $5,000 for his class. So then I just kept looking on more YouTube channels, and I found yours. And then
Did I
that's
tell you
led
for
me
an hour
to
and a half to spend 5,000 on me?
no, you spoke to me for free for like 15, 20 minutes, and you said, yes, I think you can do this. And then I joined the free community. And then not too long after that, I joined VO School.
And up to this point, the only jobs you've done was for the wrestling thing and then Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was others. I can't think of any. I remember like when I was in high school, kind of graduating high school, people were telling me like, hey, you have a great voice. You should probably get into radio. And I looked into it a little bit. I applied for the Ohio Center of Broadcasting. I was accepted, but and we'll probably get to this later, but my main concern was, am I going to be able to read the teleprompter effectively to do voiceover or copy or whatever they give you?
For those of you watching right now, you probably haven't been able to tell yet, but Kevin is actually visually impaired. So if you think that you have a hard time getting into voiceover, imagine how hard it would be for Kevin. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, I was born with nystagmus and strabismus. If somebody's really curious, they can look those terms up. But really, I had like a whole laundry list of things that are wrong with my vision. I've had a couple surgeries, and it corrected the strabismus and reduced the nystagmus, so I can focus better now. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge.
Let's just pull back here for a second. Can you look
Yeah.
at copy regularly and see it? Do you have to do things to it to be able to see it? Do you wear special contact lenses? Like, what's your process? How do you deal with this? Like, how's your base eye level if people don't know what those terms are?
If it's a script that is written sort of like line after line after line, really long lines, I'll copy them and I'll paste them into a note document so I can kind of manipulate the text, format it in a little bit of a different way that makes it easier for me to read. But I mean, it's doable. These are kind of things that I've been sort of dealing with my whole life as far as adapting or whatever. It's a challenge for sure, but it's also at the same time, I'm kind of used to it. Yeah.
Was it a concern about getting into voiceover? You were saying that about reading a teleprompter or a script. Did you think that maybe in live directed sessions it was going to be like an issue?
Yeah, for sure. For live directed sessions, my first live directed session. I couldn't sleep the night before. I didn't feel good because I was so nervous. What I did was I asked the client to send me the script ahead of time. It was a 30-second script, so it wasn't, too bad. And they sent it to me the day before, and I practiced it a bunch of times. I didn't have it like completely memorized because it's just not how I work, but I practiced it leading up to the live directed session. And I was still nervous as hell going into it, but I got through it. It was fine.
Did you know what it was going to be like?
I knew what it was going to be like because of VO School, honestly.
That sounded so canned.
It did, but it's true though, because I learned from VO School, from you and just other people on there. I learned just the lingo that was going to be used, the processes. I learned about sending the invoice afterwards and just how to conduct myself in a manner that didn't make it seem like this is the first time I've done this, even though it was, but I don't think it came off that way to the directors.
Yeah, amazing. So let's pull back here for a second here. So you done the Mortal Kombat job, the wrestling job, maybe a job or two around there as well, but largely not a lot in like 7 years.
Nope.
And then we met, you joined VoiceOver School, you got on voices.com, and how long did it take you to get your first job after you joined? And are you trained? Did you have training in voiceover before we met or anything? Or
no training. I joined in early to mid September of 2024 on voices.com. I got my first job on there. I want to say it was like September 20th, September 18th, somewhere around there.
Same month.
Yeah, same month.
Nice.
I don't know how many auditions I did prior to that, but it wasn't a whole lot.
Did you start to book more sporadically after? What point did you go from voices.com to voice123? And what did you have reservations about it? Making the jump on to another pay-to-play site?
Yeah, I didn't think I was ready to join Voice123 yet. I joined Voice123 at the end of October, just the following month. And I think I had like maybe 4 jobs, something like that, from voices.com. So I got on Voice123 pretty early. some folks in the community were kind of egging me on because there was a sale. They're like, do it. Like, all
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the sales one thing, but here's another thing, and I don't know if you remember this, but I'm pretty sure this is what I said to you. Like, you have proof that you're hireable, and that's why I was pushing because you made a lot
Sure.
of leeway in a short period of time, and you didn't just have one person hire. One person hires you, maybe you just caught the right inbox on the right day. Second person hires you, it's a pretty good indicator you're on the right track. Third and fourth person hires you, you're professional. You know what you're doing, so it's time to throw all of the resources you have at this. And your
Sure.
booking ratio at the time, like I forget exactly what it was, but it was good. It was like a professional booking ratio. That's why I was like, go for it. And I know it was, you bought in at the 8088 level, and
Yeah, I did.
I was saying like, are you worried because you have proof that you've been hired 4 times before that? Are you worried that you weren't going to get that 8088 back? Because I feel like it would have been impossible for what you were booking. And I think you were worried about that, right?
I was for sure. And quite honestly, I've made it back exponentially times more than what I put into it.
How
So
long did it take you to make it back?
a few months. I'm not sure
Months?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Within a few months, I had paid for all of my memberships and every other bit of money that I put into it.
Oh, I mean,
um,
Voice 123, like specifically, how long did it take you to like book a job and get it paid? Like 3 months?
oh, let's see. I joined Voice 123 the end of October,
Uh-huh.
going into November. My first job on there was Thanksgiving week, and
Right.
it was a $40 job for a corporate event,
Uh-huh.
and that's one of the jobs that I got nominated for. It's the Voice of God award that I got. So
Hey, did you get a review out of it?
5 stars, of course.
Exactly. That's worth
Yeah,
its weight in gold. In the
yeah,
beginning, I mean, say anybody watching, say what you will about taking like a smaller job on one of the pay to play sites, but in the beginning, when people don't know you, it's just that one 5 star that can really like open up the gate and show that you're trusted. Get a few of them, and you're off to the races. So, how are things going now? We're like what, like 6 months past that, 7 months, 8 months. Well, September's coming up. We're like 9, 10 months now. How are things
yeah,
going?
about nine something ish.
Yeah.
I made $6,500 in June
In
of this
June?
year. Yeah.
Now we're off to the races. That's a full time income, brother.
That's for me, that's more than full time. That's like I've never made that much money and
Really?
doing anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good, good. So it's all kind of coming together. So how many jobs have you like booked? Do you know? Like since I don't know, since you booked with VoiceOver School.
It's about 35 to 40.
35 to
So
40 jobs in the last 9 months. Okay, cool. We can
yeah.
we can pump those numbers up for sure. I like the 6,500. That's a good number. But still, like 35, 40 jobs as opposed to 2 to maybe 3 before that in 7 years. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
safe to say that things are going well. So tell me about the nominations. So you got the one that we just spoke about, the Voice of God one, and then
Yeah.
the best newcomer nomination. Did you expect that?
I didn't expect to get nominated for anything because I really have no idea how many voiceover artists there are in the US.
There's a lot.
And, okay. So and I
Thousands.
have no idea how many people were submitting.
Probably, I would say over 1,000. Yeah. Are you excited about it?
I am. I'm going to the event
You are going to
in
the event.
August. Yep, in
Fantastic.
Dallas. It's going to be my
Amazing.
second time ever on a plane. So,
That's fantastic, man. You really deserve it.
yeah,
So
thank you.
you booked like 35, 40 jobs, and you threw everything you had at it, and you're also visually impaired. It's pretty inspiring that you go that far. Like what's next? What's the future going to look like for you? Like where are you going with this?
I have some money in the bank now as a result of this.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I wanted to get a new guitar. I play guitar, I'm a musician, kind of my dream guitar. And I refrained because I want to basically reinvest that money back into the voiceover business,
Now we're
whether
talking.
it's
What are you going to
yeah,
get?
whether it's getting a proper because I don't have a proper booth right now and I want a proper booth, probably not Studio Bricks.
Okay.
I have a friend who is a contractor and I have another who
Cool.
knows all about soundproofing and so
Great.
I'm probably going to have them do something for me. It's going to be a lot less expensive than Studio Bricks. So
Great.
um,
Do that.
maybe a new microphone.
What mic?
Probably the Sennheiser 416,
What do you like about
460,
it?
416.
Yeah, some Sennheiser MKH 416.
What do I like about it?
Yeah.
I hear that it is a little better at canceling out unwanted noise.
Yeah, it's a little bit more forgiving than like, a T-Line 103. They all
Yeah.
have their advantages and downsides, but for me, Sennheiser 416s worked really well. So it's either way, either that or the TL 103. You can't go wrong with either. But if you have somewhat of a noisier environment, the 416
Yeah.
isn't a cure all, but it'll help with that for sure. What about your
Like I said,
website? Tell me about like how you're branding yourself. Kevin's gonna brand himself. I don't know. Are you still? We haven't talked in a bit, so I don't know if you're still on board with this. But we were talking about him branding himself as the Daredevil of voiceover because the visually impaired stuff. And if you don't
okay.
know, Daredevil from Marvel Comics is visually impaired. So we thought it was like a perfect thing as long as you don't get sent another cease and desist letter from Marvel.
Right.
Could you
Um,
imagine?
be the second time in my
Yeah.
career. Yeah, my website is still up. I've it's been a work in progress, but yeah, it's I have it all kind of like the color scheme and the logo and all the visuals kind of go along with the Daredevil sort of theme. I think I changed the spelling of it a little bit, so hopefully I don't get sued. But
Nice. What about a pro demo? Where are you at? Where are you at with that? I think that's probably pretty soon coming up for you. Hey, I'd say you're ready. You're making bank now, so
yeah,
I'd say you're ready.
that's probably another one of those things that I'll use some of those fat checks I made in June to kind of invest towards that. Because I've been producing music and kind of a sound engineer for a long time, it's something I feel like I could probably do myself, but at the same time, I think the direction would be really helpful.
100%. Honestly, like
Yeah.
to anybody listening, I don't care how good you are at audio engineering. It's not just that. It's not just it's sounding good for a demo. You got to go to someone who knows what they're doing, knows how to direct you, knows how to write the copy, and knows what's current. So I always direct people towards either Mark Grau, JMC Demos. JMC Demos has won a ton of awards for all the demos they produces. So is Mark Grau and Ear Blowing Audio. Those three guys are just lights out. You can't go wrong with either one of them. So I would highly suggest you talk to them and just
Yeah.
see if they're a fit.
I don't have an agent yet either.
Yes.
I need to get looking for that. So, because I don't get 50 to 60 audition invites a day, and I want 50 to 60 audition invites a day. And I know if I have agents that will bolster my
It'll
numbers.
help.
So
How many are you getting right now?
I get about 100 a week,
Daily basis on average from just voices alone.
between 8 and 15
Okay. And voice one,
from
two,
voices
three.
alone. Voice 1, 2, 3, it's a little more. A lot of times they'll come in the middle of the night, which is fine because I'm a night owl.
Okay. So between 20 and 30 a day.
Yeah, maybe closer to 20. Because if I'm doing 100 a week,
Uh-huh.
but I don't take every audition that I get invited to, because sometimes they're looking for a demographic that doesn't fit me or whatever. I don't do everything that I get sent, but I do the vast majority of them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to right now push you out of your comfort zone again
Okay.
because if you get a professional demo done right away, that's not going to have an immediate effect on your career. It'll help you market yourself to agents who can send you auditions, which could have a big effect on your career, but it's going to be a little bit down the line. If you put money into a booth that your friends get you, it's going to be helpful. It's kind of a vanity thing. Your sound is obviously fine right now if you're working all the time. It'll just make things a little bit easier, more comfortable. If you buy in at the highest level of voice 1, 2, 3, you're going to
Mhm.
immediately get more auditions. You'll get double what you're getting
That's,
right now.
yeah.
And you can take, when you book, you can take that to do all the other things faster. Plus, you'll have more additions.
I was looking into the 2200 when I renew.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing
Um,
with the 2200 as well. You don't have to drop it all at once. When you get to the 2200, they make you pay
quarterly.
in quarters. So it's like
Yeah.
660 or something like that every quarter. Historically, have you made $660 a month in voiceover to be able to cover Voice 1, 2, 3's quarterly thing, or $660 in 3 months? Do you think you'll make that back?
Yeah.
Just don't even
I
think
mean,
about it. Do it. Drop that 660.
I've thought about doing platinum or what's the highest one? The 5,000.
Now we're
I've thought of it.
talking. Yes, the platinum program. So the platinum program, for those of you who don't know, on Voice 1, 2, 3, it's a program where there's I think it's 80 actors in total, or it might be a little less. You have to apply for it. It's expensive. It's like $5,000 a year, but
Yeah.
you get the most visibility and you get sent the most auditions. An easier way of getting a ton of auditions. Platinum program on Voice 1, 2, 3 is definitely worth it. Now, some people are thinking, why would I ever drop 5,000 on a membership? That's outrageous. That's ridiculous. That's gouging. They're doing all the work getting the clients on the platform. So it's like renting a store on a busy street. If you rent a shoe store, if you have a shoe store and you put it on
Park Avenue or Madison Avenue in New York City, you're going to get a lot of foot traffic. Likewise, if you get $5,000 membership and platinum membership on Voice 123, you're going to have top billing. People are going to walk by your storefront, see it, and buy your services. It pays for itself. I get job offers just from people landing on my profile. It's just hard to
on
wrap
the
your head
radar
around in the beginning because you're like, 5,000, what? I'm never going to make that. But you do.
Yeah. I mean, I made more than that in June. So
there you go. So you
Yeah.
got the proofs in the pudding, and you only have to pay quarter. It's like 1,500 quarterly or something like that. Cool, man. So talk to the new people that are watching. What would you say to anybody that's like thinking about getting into voiceover, and they're a little nervous because it's a little expensive for some people to start. You got to get your microphone, you got to get your memberships, you got to set up your studio, get foam, blankets, all the stuff that you have to get in the beginning, and learn a set of skills. Like, do you think it's still doable in 2025? Like, what do you say? Like, what should people do?
I think it's definitely doable. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, if I can do it, anybody can.
I love it.
Everybody says that, but it's like, you just have to be, you just have to be willing to put the work in. I know that's kind of cliche to say that, but I mean, if you're tenacious about it and you just keep working every day, it's totally doable. And I don't think, when I first got into this, I was kind of afraid that AI was going to take it over, and I was researching that. And those fears have been mostly quelled. Like you said before, the voiceover is kind of the least expensive part of the production of like a big commercial campaign.
Yeah.
So the company is not going to want to screw that part of it up. They're going to hire a real person who can do it, as opposed
Absolutely. Well,
$10.
companies are they're very conscious about coming across as authentic to people, and they're not going to risk their brand identity of being inauthentic just to save like a couple $100 on a voiceover or $1,000 even on a voiceover and go with an AI instead. So, it's not a worry for anybody at this point.
It's so every time I see a commercial with an AI voice, it sticks out like a sore thumb to me. It's immediately noticeable, whether it's because it's a voice that I've heard a million times in other commercials, or it pronounces words incorrectly, just that kind of thing. Like, for me anyway, it's very noticeable. And as soon as I see a commercial with an AI, I'm just like, oh, that company's kind of
garbage. Someone had to try it, but cool, dude. Well, listen, thanks so much for talking to me about this. And it was incredible and inspiring to hear about your journey. And I'm sure a lot of people got some inspiration out of this. And where can folks that want to follow your journey and know more about you, where can they find you? Are you on LinkedIn, Instagram? Are you on YouTube? Like, where can people find you?
I'm most of those places. I'm not on Instagram, but I am. My website is Kevin Schmidt VO. It's KevinSchmidtVO.com.
Where else?
I'm also on LinkedIn. Just my name, Kevin Schmidt, and I'm on YouTube. And
what's your YouTube channel? I didn't know you had one. Did I know you had one? I don't think. I gotta subscribe.
You subscribe to it.
Did I? Okay.
You already did, yeah.
I just had a baby. I got an excuse.
You did, yeah. Okay, on YouTube, Kevin VoiceOver. KevinVoiceover. That's it.
Easy. How did you got Kevin VoiceOver? That was available?
It was.
Damn. You got to get your Instagram, Kevin VoiceOver Instagram. See if that's available.
I've never really used Instagram, but maybe it's time to start.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, thanks again. Thanks so much for being here, dude. And yeah, once you get that Instagram handle, let us know, and we'll shout it from the rooftops. And thanks everybody for watching. Hope you got some value out of this. And if you are interested in learning more about voiceover, and you want to jump into VoiceOver School with myself and Kevin, and I think 190 other killers doing it and getting nominated for awards, check the links below. Other than that, this is Kevin. I'm Jesse. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.